what the hell going on now?
Sheriff's office investigating a fatal shooting. 3 teenagers killed overnight, boosting Macon Bibb's homicide rate to 65 this year.
Camila Williams is in studio to tell us about the teacher who says the loss of young lives is heartbreaking.
That's right. A former Bibb County teacher says she knew 16-year-old Marcellus Williams at Union Elementary School. She says he was a good student with his whole life ahead of him.
I have a smile on my face because he had the biggest smile. And when he smiled at me, it could brighten up the room.
Kristen Ball used to teach 5th grade at Union. She can't believe Williams is gone now.
My first reaction was no, it's not him. And then I was just kind of shocked. And then I looked up the news story and, confirmed that it was my former student.
Williams was one of the 4 teenagers shot around 1:30 a.m. Tuesday at West Club Apartments in West Macon. He was found dead on the scene. Jerian Willis and Tyshawn Williams died at the hospital. They were both 18. Ball couldn't hold back tears about the death and violence in Macon.
As a former teacher at that school, anytime we see a news clipping or a news...
Who's causing all this violence and death in little old Macon, Georgia? I wonder who.
News article about a teenager or a young person being shot and killed, I have to look to see if it's one of my former students. And unfortunately, this morning I woke up and it was.
Dominique Johnson with Cure Violence Macon says they plan to continue to keep working to make Macon safe for all youth.
As we come in, boots on the ground, the community is going to come together to rap together as well.
Ball says she wishes she could help, but she knows her former student was nothing but a hard worker.
When I think about him, like I saw a bright future, and he was trying very hard to move himself forward.
Such a sad but lovely relationship between Ball and Williams. A 14-year-old was also shot in the back, and he was released from the hospital this morning. All 4 were students at Westside High School in West Bibb. Back to you.
You see, I ain't even gonna say nothing yet, because every time I say something, I get called mean names. I'm the Uncle Tom Coon sellout. I hate myself for simply calling out the problem, right? So I want you to see the problem, right? I want you to see what's going on for yourself. If I say something, okay? Yeah, we're doing a little live song.
Is going to tune in, wanting to know the latest. Community leaders also reacting to this weekend's violence as well. We've seen a lot of talk on social media about what happened and who this affected.
And THP 11's Ian Russell joins us live in the studio tonight. Ian, you spoke to some community activists about what happened, so tell us how they're reacting.
Yeah, Craig, Faith, well, not well, and they're obviously not very happy with what happened there. A lot of anger, a lot of disappointment from what I saw and heard on social media. And one pastor told me when he heard about everything Sunday night, he was just kind of in a state of shock there. Now, I asked that pastor how the city moves past something like this. He says that's a hard question to answer, but it starts with respect for each other. And you heard Ashley mention there, 15 shootings this weekend, 3 people dead, with one of them being just 21 years old. Now, Pastor Walter Cochran with Arkansas Stop the Violence told me hearing of anyone lost to gun violence hurts, but this one stings. He says 21-year-old Glenn Finley had his whole life ahead of him.
But this can happen to anyone, but a 21-year-old losing their life, they have all this life ahead of them, and they're losing their life because of nonsense. That's, that's a shame, but
so they're not losing their life because of white supremacists or police walking up and down the street killing them? Who's causing all this senseless killing and crime in the neighborhood? That's what we're trying to figure out. And that's what we need to weed out of the community, period.
We just have to value lives. We just have to get back to the area where we value people's lives and be able to sit down and talk about various things. We have a problem with someone.
Now, Cochran says mentorship programs do work, but there's another group that can help, and that's parents. He says he's seen good results when families get involved and work alongside those mentoring programs. Now, another thing to mention here is Arkansas Stop the Violence did send a letter to Governor Asa Hutchinson, and in that letter, they asked the governor to ask for help getting guns off the street.
all that prevention, this, help get guns off from this. My goodness. I wonder who's the real problem, okay? When we start calling out the real problem, we might be able to get to something. But until then, we won't be able to get there, okay? Until we be able to call out the real problems, ain't no way. Let's see what's going on here.
A nationwide study of homicides, most of them involving guns, found that in 2020, 7 so far this year.
And loved ones in his community. Take a look at the gun deaths in his community. East Point police say 100% of the gun homicides this year happened between friends and loved ones during fights. John Schierick has the plea from the police chief.
So far this year in East Point, overall crime down, but homicides up. 13 shooting deaths so far this year. And police are not looking for any suspects. They're all in jail because, says Chief Sean Buchanan, shooter and victim in every single case knew each other.
We're seeing friends, family, and loved ones being killed by friends, family, and loved ones. That's a very tragic situation. We want people to start thinking before they act and use some de-escalation techniques.
A nationwide study of homicides, most of them involving guns, found that in 2020, 79% of the killers knew their victims. In Washington, the focus is on mass shootings as Congress considers new gun safety laws. Hearing from victims' families, survivors like Robb Elementary School 4th grader Mia Cerrillo pleading for action.
He shot my friend that was next to me, and I thought he was going to come back.
While Congress seeks bipartisan agreement, Chief Buchanan says he's focused on urging responsible gun ownership.
Hot tempers and guns don't mix. Think before you act. There's no do-over card. Once you pull that trigger, that bullet will never come back.
Well, unfortunately, some of the animal thugs know that. Okay. But they don't care. They go out with the intentions on, you know, doing crime and doing evil, doing crazy crap. Okay? They don't care about that. They know that. Y'all want these knuckleheads out of jail. Well, what about this? Brace yourself. What about this? Yeah.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. I've done the research. Honest plumbing service begins with Superior Plumbing.
Come on in.
Superior Plumbing delivers reliable service at a fair price.
Disturbing news out of East Point this afternoon. Police say now that a 27-year-old mother killed her daughter, then set their apartment on fire to cover up the crime. A neighbor rescued the child's twin. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor has the new developments from East Point.
We have new information about this fire that happened just the day before Thanksgiving. The police chief here in East Point now says a suspect in this case, Nicole Jackson, actually started the fire to conceal her daughter's death.
Thinking about get everybody out. That's all I was thinking about. Get them babies out, get everybody out of there.
Uncle Top sprang into action when he saw the smoke and flames at the Brookville Apartments on Washington Road. Ricardo Tolbert says he broke the apartment glass to pull this 4-year-old out of the fire.
And I pulled the baby out, and when I got her out and that fresh air hit her eyes open, and she wrapped around my neck.
East Point fire officials say the mother, Nicole Jackson, used an accelerant to start the fire on the eve of Thanksgiving. But even more troubling, police now say Jackson confessed to killing one of her 4-year-olds before the flames ignited.
She disclosed to us that one of the child was already deceased, and she started the fire to conceal the crime.
Police have not revealed how the 4-year-old died. They say an autopsy will tell that. The surviving child is with her grandmother and sustained burns to her hands. Ms. Jackson has been charged with arson, malice, murder, and cruelty to children, among other charges. Neighbors say her behavior had grown more bizarre over the last 3 weeks. Erica Jones lost everything in the fire and lives in the apartment next door.
Yeah, but I always was hearing rumble, like somebody would throw it against the wall, doors slamming, windows slamming. And I used to say, something ain't right with that girl over there.
Jackson's family is just devastated. We contacted them today, but they say they are not yet ready to talk.
Wow. Kill her 4-year-old daughter. Set the apartment complex on fire. You lose everything because of a nut job. It's Deion time. It's main event time. This what they not telling you. Okay? This what they not telling you. This what they not telling you. He don't want his son around all of this. He could put the school on blast. He could put the school on blast. Like I'm about to. Because ain't nobody talking about this. But we about to talk about it. Did this have anything to do with Deion leaving? Because ain't nobody talking about this. Did this have anything Deion leaving? Let's just see.
On your side, WLBT News at 6 starts now.
Students and faculty at Jackson State University tonight mourning the senseless killing of one of their own.
The Hinds County coroner and JSU president confirming the news today, though many details about what happened have yet to be revealed. The body of a JSU student found in a car at a dorm parking lot. He was shot to death.
Investigative reporter CJ LeMaster joining us from the campus right now with what we know. CJ?
Wait. Oh, looky here. What happened on Jackson State University campus? Huh? That you ain't heard about? That ain't nobody talking about? Let's play that back. What happened?
It starts now.
Students and faculty at Jackson State University tonight mourning the senseless killing of one of their own.
The Hinds County coroner and JSU president confirming the news today, though many details about what happened have yet to be revealed. The body of a JSU student found at a dorm parking lot. He was shot to death.
Investigative reporter CJ LeMaster joining us from the campus right now with what we know. CJ?
Howard, Maggie, the most promising information coming from JSU's president just hours ago saying that a person of interest is now in custody. The school and investigators not saying much else.
There they go with that person. You have a person in custody. He just shot somebody on JSU campus. Who did it? Can you tell us who did it? Huh? And I wonder why nobody's not talking about this. They so hyped over Deion. Why nobody talking about this?
For hours Friday morning, officers with the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, Hinds County Sheriff's Department, and JSU's campus enforcement examined the crime scene in this parking lot. Investigators there looking for clues on what happened to the JSU student found dead there and whether they would learn anything about his final moments. But while speculation fuels social media, few details are being offered by Jackson State. President Thomas Hudson releasing this statement hours ago, saying the campus is safe and they have a person of interest in custody. Students we talked to remain.
What person? And it was a body found on the campus. I'm sure it's so safe.
Concerned.
I think now people are just a little worried about something else happening, so they're a little on edge, but I think there's still a lot of excitement for tomorrow.
Should have thought about that when you was running the police off campus. Duh.
Tomorrow's SWAC championship football game.
The timing of this incident troubling too. JSU slated to play Southern in the SWAC championship Saturday. Many alums and fans will be in town. Student Danielle Aroma says she's going to be more cautious going forward.
People should be more aware of
their surroundings, and people should be, girls especially, should be with someone by their side, always there, like walking around at night. I feel like the security on campus is not the best right now. So, I mean, as a girl, I think.
And why is that? Because people like you was waving signs in the air, calling the police racist, and wanting them off campus. Now look at you.
I feel like a little scared to go out at night.
Now, we actually thought JSU would hold a press conference where we could ask questions and hopefully get answers today. Instead, JSU's president put out that statement, and the school's spokesperson has declined.
Of course they don't want to hold statements right now. They want to talk about Deion. They don't want to talk about a kid that was shot on the campus. Duh, that's too much like right.
To comment further. Live on the JSU campus, CJ Levine.
And you want Deion to keep his kids around all that foolishness? A dead body on campus. And Deion is the Uncle Tom Coon sellout for going out somewhere else? Y'all crazy as hell.